Welcome back, everybody. Now today I have a totally random collection of gadgets for you. From a random Temu phone stand to a potentially useful ice cube tray to an even more bizarre Shark Tank item. Let's get started with the first item. It is the lazy person's phone holder from Temu. This bizarre looking piece is a bedside phone holder. I paid $2.67 for this. They say it offers hands-free and anti-drop design for bedside viewing, suitable for lazy people, ideal for watching videos while laying on your side. Also has charging port access back here, ideal for the couch or the bed. Before I try this in a real-world test, let's try it with an actual phone. Now my first thought is an iPhone 17 Pro Max with a case pretty thick. Will this hold it? That is the question. If it can hold this one, it can hold anything. And oh, it holds it. Actually, it fits pretty snugly in there. Nice fit, and even the orange matches by complete coincidence. I mean, that feels pretty snug. Let me try without the case. Even without the case, it doesn't really move around too much. There is a little bit of play in there, but not too bad. It does seem to fit better with the case on, though. So perhaps ironically, it seems to be better for thicker phones. But now that I know it fits, let's go try this in a real-world situation. Let's try this out now here. I don't usually do this, but let's see. Well, first of all, the reading glasses aren't good on my side, but I'll try it anyways. Now, the first thing I'm noticing is that the angle of my head is not the same angle as this device. I need to be more like this. So laying down, this is kind of what I'm seeing. I need to be like this, not like this. It's close, but not quite there. I may not be able to use these glasses either. All right, it's a little blurry, but if I can adjust this. All right, let me just try scrolling around. I'm gonna scroll some mindless social media. Let's take a look at Instagram. That's pretty scrollable. I need to be like 3 inches higher. Fine, I'll try a second pillow. Now that's closer to the angle here. That's closer. I need some glasses here. Now that's pretty much the right angle for me. Now my only problem now is I'm gonna have to hold my arm up to scroll. If I'm gonna be this lazy, I have to go all out with laziness. I wanna lazily scroll without having my arm up in the air the entire time. I guess I can't do that. All right, let's keep scrolling. All right, so first impression is that once you get the right angle, it's kind of cool. I mean, what if I wanna lay on my right side though? Then I have to switch everything over. But what I'm going to do now is tonight, when I get in bed, I'm going to bring this back in here, bring the camera back in here, and use it in a real world situation. I think I got the right angle. It seems like it's working, so let me try it for real tonight when I'm actually going to bed. So that's next. All right, this is it. I usually spend the last part of my evening in bed on my phone. I'm going to do this. I'm going to lay on my side, and I'm going to scroll the phone with this little gadget. I'll let you know tomorrow how it held up, if I have any more observations. So now it's time to scroll Reddit until I go to sleep. So in the end, I guess technically it works, but to me it feels a bit gimmicky. Not everyone's gonna lay at the right angle to make this work. I'm sure some people may find it useful, but I didn't. Next up, if you've watched my channel at all over the years, you know how much I love my ice making gadgets. Well, today I have a product that's supposedly an upgrade to traditional ice cube trays. Let's take a look at the FlipCubes. Let's take a look at the FlipCubes. These run about 20 bucks from the official website. Not currently available on Amazon, although that could change. They say it's a better way to make ice. It's an American-made ice cube tray featuring a spill-resistant lid and a flip-release design that makes retrieving your cubes easier than traditional ice cube trays. Simply fill and freeze like a standard tray. Then you crack it back and forth, place it upside down, and lift the top to reveal your beautiful cubes. Each tray holds 14 fluid ounces, and they insist that you do not overfill it. Even in here, if you can see, it says do not overfill. These are also dishwasher safe. I didn't really see many reviews online out there, so I'm kind of on my own as far as this goes. But I'm gonna jump right into it. First thing I gotta do is go wash these off. All right, we are all washed off here now. Now again, they say not to overfill it, and it holds 14 ounces of water. So I'm gonna try 14 ounces of bottled water and 14 ounces of tap water and see if there's any difference. But I have exactly 14 ounces of water here. Let's fill it up. Now they show it in their picture, in their instructions, I'm filling it underneath the sink, but I don't have a sink here, so I gotta use a measuring cup. All right, this looks like it's perfectly evenly filled here. Tray 1, snapping it locked, moving to the side. Tray number 2, we're gonna go with some bottled water here now. All right, that one is filled. So let me go drop these in the freezer and I'll come back tomorrow and then we'll start cracking. By the way, after putting them in the freezer, I realized that with that lid there, it makes them stackable, which is kind of nice. I had an OXO ice cube tray that also had a lid on it as well. So I do like the lid, but we'll see if that lid comes in handy tomorrow when I do my cube flipping. It is time. I have just pulled these out of the freezer. Let's see where the FlipCubes land on the path of success. Will it be a flippin' victory or a cube defeat? Whatever that means. But here we go. Pulling one aside here. Now follow these instructions very dutifully. Next up, steps 3 and 4. Crack it to the right and left, holding handles only. The handles are well defined. Oh, I can feel it releasing. They released, I could feel it. I don't think I have to do any more cracking. I could feel them pop out of there. It says drop upside down. I don't think I want to drop it, but I will place it upside down. Uh-oh, I heard the cubes move. Lift this up and, oh, wow, look at this, perfect. All of them. Here we go, every single one of them released and they are sitting there for the taking. So what you can do now is just take the cubes you want, put them in a glass. In fact, I'll do that. I'll put a couple in the glass here. My Coast glass, which does not leave a ring on your table. Check out my review for that. These are nice big cubes, by the way. These are big cubes. So now what you're supposed to do is close the lid. I'm assuming flip it back over and place in the freezer. So there you go. You can also fill these too if you wanted. So I'm kind of a fan of this. I'm liking it so far. Let's try the other one. Was that just a fluke or are we gonna go 2-0 on this one? Here we go. Crack it to the left and right. Oh yeah, I could feel them release once again. Drop upside down. Oh wow, look at this. These were the bottled water. Look how much clearer these are. What do you think, Bolt? Bolt's impressed. Oh, the bottled water looks really nice. Much clearer. Let me bring the original one back over here real quick. On this side we have the tap water and on this side we have the bottled water. Huge difference. I mean, they both worked, but this is much more satisfying to look at. It is like glass, very nice. I'll take a couple more of these out of here. Throw in my Coast glass once again. And you can even see the difference in the top from the bottled water versus the bottom from the tap water. Big difference. Now all I have to do is close these up. Flip back over. Close up, flip back over, stack them up for the freezer. I've got to say, as someone who's tested a lot of ice cube trays over the years, a lot of ice cube products over the years, as far as reinventing the ice cube tray, I think they did it. First use, second use, flawless. So I think this is a great product. Next up is an item that looks kind of fun. It's a mold to make candy spoons. I tried it several different ways. Some worked, some didn't. So let's take a look at my review of the Wilton candy spoon molds. Let's take a look at this Wilton Candy Melts Candy Spoon Mold. I paid $8.49 on this on Amazon, where it currently has a 4.5 star rating among over 1,300 reviews. There it is, not much to it, right? Now they claim it's a mold that makes spoon-shaped candy using candy melts or other candies. Just melt in the microwave and let it cool. They'll say the spoons will dissolve in any warm drink. Now people online who liked it, they say it's a good quality mold, easy to use. They say the spoons are durable and great for hot cocoa in the wintertime. Those who didn't like it, they say the handles break easily or they're difficult to remove from the mold. Got some instructions back here. I'll read those over and then get started. All right, I'm ready to get started. In fact, I already did get started. I'm skipping ahead because my first attempt was a complete fail. I used their suggested technique of breaking candy melts in half and putting them in the microwave. The problem is you really can't, candy melts need to be stirred during the heating process, and you really can't do that when it's already in the mold. So my first attempt was a complete bust. Here's a couple quick scenes from that before I move on to my attempt number 2. All right, it's time to make some spoons here now. I'm looking at the instructions. It says break a handful of candy melt wafers, about 12 candy wafers, in half. Their Amazon page shows 9 halves per spoon, which is what I'm gonna do. That's 11 halves. That looks probably more like it. So let me fill all these with 11 halves and then move on to the next step. Now, according to the microscopic instructions, I'm supposed to microwave at half power for 1 minute. Gently jiggle and lightly tap the mold to smooth the candy, and continue that at 30-second intervals. You know what? This first test was a bust. That's right, look at this. I'm not going any further. I mean, like, this is getting brown on this side. I'm just gonna melt all the candy melts beforehand using their alternate technique, because this method ain't working. It's too hard to get the right amount of candy melts in there. The microwave isn't cooking them evenly. Forget it, forget it. I'm gonna get rid of this mess, clean it off, let it cool off, and we'll start over again in a little while. All right, and I'm back. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pre-melt the candy melts and fill the molds after the fact, and then put them right in the fridge. None of this microwaving stuff here. All right, let's see if I even have enough candy melts to fill all these up after that last test. Candy melts are not cheap, by the way. They are not cheap. But let's fill this up and see what we got. Oh, much better. All right, I'm gonna get 6 out of 8. My first test used up most of my candy melts. But this looks much better. Look how much better that looks. Comparing the difference in techniques, I'm not even sure why they would suggest it. That did not work well. This worked perfectly. I'm kind of bummed I don't have enough for the last two, but I guess I gotta deal with it. All right, so I'll come back a little later after these have cooled off and we'll see how they actually work. All right, I said I'd be back in a few hours. Well, it's been 20. So these better be chilled or I have problems with my fridge. Here they are, they look nice. Now I've got 2 things to worry about from this point onward. Number 1 is getting them out of here, because that seemed to be a big problem on Amazon. Some people said they broke no matter what they did. And then we're gonna try it in a hot drink and see how it works there. Gently push on the bottom of the cavities to release the candy. So I'm not sure if they mean push downward, face down, or push upward. I don't know, I'm just gonna figure it out. Or if I kind of pull the mold away from it, it feels like it might be working. This is the most treacherous part of the entire process here. Because you do this, you're gonna break that handle. I'm almost out. I'm almost out. I feel like they're so delicate, I'm gonna break them. Oh, I think I just snapped it. I just broke my first one. Come on, man. All right, since that one's broken, I can test this one a little bit. Well, they're easy to get out once they're broken. Man, I really didn't want to break it. I mean, it looks nice, look at that. Nice and shiny. It looks like a legit spoon, but it's broken. I have 5 more chances to get these out of here unbroken. Oh, I did it. Look, I have an unbroken candy melt spoon. Yes, absolutely perfect. Now let's see what my break ratio is gonna be. I'm gonna try to go slowly and get these all out of here. I feel like if I push the mold kind of down around it, it seems like it's working. Ah, you got a second one. I got a second one. We're 2 for 3. Let's keep going. I feel like I'm getting better already. Oh yeah, 3 for 4. Oh, I broke it. Man. Ah. Come on, man. I broke the last 2. Get out of here. There's the final result. 3 unbroken, 3 broken. Now in baseball, 50% is pretty good, but I think with making spoons, it's pretty bad. The ones that aren't broken, they look so nice. Look how shiny that is. I mean, it's beautiful, but still, to have half of them break, very disappointing. Let me take a bite of one of these broken ones here. Yep, that's candy melt, all right. I'm gonna try it in a hot drink and see how it goes there. Let's see how long it lasts in a cup of hot coffee. I'll take one of my unbroken spoons. I'm just gonna stir it in here and see what happens. How long will it last? This coffee's right out of the coffee pot here. Oh, it's already getting soft. It's already getting gooey and soft. Oh, there's already a hole in the bottom. Look at that. Wow, that didn't take long at all. Oh, it just dropped in. The spoon just dropped in there. Now I really do have to stir it. I can feel in the bottom there. As I was stirring, the rest of the handle fell in there too. I mean, add some sweetness, it's not bad. I just feel like the break ratio was so bad, man. I don't know. Before I give my conclusion, I want to very quickly do one more type of spoon here. I saw some people talking about on Amazon. So let me get set up for that and see if I can do a completely different type of spoon and a completely different method and see what happens. All right, so what I did was took some peppermint candies and crushed them up. Filled up the mold the best I could, stuck in the oven at 300 degrees for about 7 minutes. After that, I filled in any gaps with more crushed candy and went another 5 minutes. I let it cool and here we go. Does it look perfect? Probably not. Now it was hard to get all these little bits out of here, so I didn't. So it may not look aesthetically pleasing, but hopefully that's the only issue. Even with refilling them, they didn't completely fill the mold, so I'm not sure how these are gonna turn out. They look a little bit on the thin side. I'm kind of curious, but I'm also kind of leery at the same time. And there we go. Let me try some more of these. It feels kind of treacherous getting these out of here. You feel like you're gonna break them. They actually seem to come out easier than the candy melts. Although I don't know if they look as good. I feel like I had higher expectations for the final result. I'll show you a close-up when I'm done with pulling these out of here. But so far I haven't broken any. All right, none broke. And there is the final result. What do you guys think? Some of these look better than others. Some have this kind of bubbly texture going on in there, which doesn't look so great. I'm sure it'll taste fine and work fine, but still, I'd say this is probably the best of the bunch. I've never done these before, so I'm not sure how to avoid those little bubbles, but for a first attempt, not too bad. I made some coconut white with my velvetizer. Let's throw one of these in here. I'll get the worst looking one. This one doesn't look so great. This chocolate is hot, by the way. It just came out of the velvetizer. It does seem like it's kind of maybe slowly melting the spoon. Christmas in August, here we go. This is already a good flavor as it is, but add a little bit of peppermint in there. It's quite nice, actually. It even works as a spoon. I would say this was a success. The first attempt was a bit of a learning process, but after that, it seemed like it worked pretty well. I like the peppermint. I'm probably gonna try to refine this for the holidays. I'll try to make more of these. I think they turned out okay. I'm sure I could probably do better with multiple attempts. With a little bit of practice, the mold does work quite well. Hot cocoa when it's 112 degrees outside. Next up is an item that I'm not sure solves a problem that hasn't already been solved numerous times over. But I had a request for it, so let's try out the Chef Craft bag clips. Let's take a look at these bag clips. I paid $4.48 for these on Amazon, although they're currently about $8 for a 6-pack. Currently has a 4.7 star rating among over 400 reviews. Pull one of these out of here now. All right, so there it is. They claim that it's a versatile bag clip for baked goods, picnics, tailgate parties, and more. They say it's faster and smaller than typical bag clips. They say it keeps food fresh and tightly sealed with these durable and reusable alternatives. It does feel pretty well made, and this spring is no joke. But people online who liked it said it's better than twist ties. Good for larger bags as well. They say it's durable and versatile. They also say it can be used for non-food items like Christmas lights. Of course, those who didn't like it, some people said it's not sturdy, hard to open, which it is kind of hard to open, or doesn't close tightly, which it does seem like it would close tightly. So this should be easy to test out. All right, let's take a closer look at these now. Someone on Amazon said that they're basically no different than clothespins. Let's see here. See how wide I can open this up. Now that spring is pretty strong. It takes a little bit of force to open that up, as opposed to a clothespin, which doesn't. It looks like width-wise, there's not a huge difference between that and a clothespin. Clothespins are a lot cheaper, so that may not bode well for this if there's not much difference. Let's try just a few different bags here. Now, here's a bag of chips I have. This is the bag clip I use, and these are pretty cheap too. And this one has a magnet on it. You stick on the fridge. This is certainly a serviceable bag clip, and I can't say I've spent a lot of time thinking about bag clips, but it's worked fine for me. Let's see how this one does now on a bag of chips. Wow, what do you know? It worked. How about the clothespin? That works too. Honestly, when I put them side by side, this big bag clip has such a wide opening that I don't have to use two hands for it. When the bag's just kind of loosely folded, you actually have to use two hands for this one. When it's loosely folded, I can kind of slide this clothespin over, and this one is so large you don't have to worry about it. I would say in that test, this one kind of came in third place, because it's a little bit more effort to get on there. We're not off to a very good start yet. Now the package says, if you can read that, it says great for bread and bagels. I happen to have both. Let's try some cheapo bagels here. Now this has the bag clip on it, which again, I can't say I've ever really had a big problem using these. They're not really that much of a problem. They do take two hands though. All right, once again, big clip. I mean, it's gonna be hard to compete with this. It's bigger, it has the magnet on there, and it's easier to open, but let's keep going. All right, the star of the show here. Now that does hold it pretty well. I can tell it kind of pinches it off. So, you know, maybe it's a little bit more airtight. Clothespin seems to work pretty well too. I don't think it's as airtight though. It seems to hold it pretty well. Go back and forth here. Clothespin. Clothespin's working well too. Big clip. I see a pattern arising here. Bag clip. No difference. The only thing I'll say about this that seems to have an advantage over the others is because that spring is so strong, it holds it like a vice grip. I feel like that's the sturdiest hold of all of them. Maybe that is making it a little more airtight, maybe. Let's try some bread now. This has the old school twist tie, which once again, I guess it takes more effort to use a twist tie on there, but it still works. Let's go on the line here. Star of the show. Now that does hold it really securely. Not going anywhere for sure. Clothespin. Probably not as secure, but also significantly cheaper. Big clip. It's just so large. Even though maybe the spring isn't as strong, it's so large it just seems to hold everything in place really well. And because it's so large, it's also the fastest one to clip on everything because you don't have to worry about using 2 hands for it. So as far as what I can tell, the only real advantage this has is that strong spring does hold it really tight, but it also takes more force to open too. I'm not sure the difference in air tightness between a clothespin, this other bag clip, it really makes it's gonna make much of a difference. We're talking about bread and bagels. We're not talking about something that, that needs to be vacuum sealed. So, I mean, they do work. I have no complaints about their function, but I also have no complaints about the alternatives either. If you like the way they look, if you like the way they are smaller, they're a smaller footprint, I guess, but if you like the way they look and function, they'll certainly work for you, but so will these. And finally, it's a novelty item that not only was on Shark Tank, but actually got a deal. If you've ever wondered what your face might look like on a potato, this company has a solution for you. It's a Potato Pal from Potato Parcel. So all I had to do was go onto the website, upload a photo, drop a cool 25 bucks, and select the date I want it shipped out. So it arrived a few days later, and here's how that went. Look what just arrived in the mail. That's right, it's my potato. It arrived quickly, so I would give them credit for that. Let me crack this open. I've not even opened it up yet. We'll see it at the same time, and oh, that's pretty funny. Look at that. Whoa, that's awesome. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with it. I have no idea how long it's gonna last, but while it lasts, it looks pretty awesome. I mean, that's it. That's me on a potato. So there really isn't much else to review about this, because that's pretty much it. It is certainly the gift for those that have everything. What I'm gonna probably do is display this while it lasts, and then when it decays, I guess I don't think I'll eat it, but I'll probably, I'm not sure what I'll do with it. For now, I'm just gonna leave it out because it looks cool. Let's compare that side by side with the photo I sent. What do you guys think? To me, it's exact. Well, it was a few moments of pleasure, but it was worth it. I think I've heard that before in other contexts, but not with a potato face. It might be fun and silly and serve no purpose at all, but I can at least say I've finally seen my face on a potato. Well, that's about it for this collection of products. If you've used any of these items, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.